Sun in the 11th house, identity and the collective. Welcome to Sun in the 11th house in Synastry. In this overlay, we explore what happens when one person's sun, their core identity, vitality, sense of self, and life force, falls into another person's 11th house, the house of friendship, community, collective ideals, long-term hopes, and the experience of belonging to something larger than the individual self. Where the 10th house governs the individual in their most publicly visible form, the 11th house governs the individual as a member of a larger whole. It is the territory of the group and the network, of shared vision and collective purpose, of the particular quality of connection that exists between people who are bound not by proximity or romance, but by a common orientation toward the future. When someone's sun lands here, it does not produce the depth and intensity of the 8th house or the romantic charge of the 5th. It produces something more expansive, more socially rooted, and in many ways more lastingly sustaining. The experience of genuine friendship in its fullest sense. The sun person brings their identity, their energy, and their fundamental orientation to life directly into the space where the house person experiences community and belonging. They arrive not as a romantic prospect or a family member, but as someone who feels, from very early on, like a friend, like someone the house person would choose to know regardless of any other context, and would continue to choose over and over again. From the house person's perspective, the sun person may feel immediately like a member of their tribe. There is often a quality of social ease in this connection that is distinct from the charged recognition of the 7th house or the compulsive pull of the 8th. It is lighter, more relaxed, more genuinely comfortable. The house person may find that the sun person fits naturally into their social world, that they get along with the people the house person cares about, that they share enough of the house person's values and ideals to feel like a natural extension of their existing community rather than an addition from outside it. This quality of social fluency is one of the overlay's most distinctive and appealing features. Sun in 11th connections tend to have a lightness that can be difficult to find in other placements. A sense that the relationship does not require constant tending, that it can sustain periods of distance or reduced contact without losing its essential warmth, and that when the two people are together, there is an ease that feels not like the comfort of familiarity alone, but the deeper comfort of genuine affinity. The house person may also find that the sun person's presence activates their sense of social purpose, their awareness of what they are trying to contribute to their community or their world, and their desire to be part of collective efforts that matter. The sun person may bring with them a quality of social energy and vision that the house person finds inspiring, not in the grand philosophical sense of the 9th house, but in the more grounded sense of people who are actively trying to make something real happen in the world around them. From the sun person's perspective, there is often a feeling of genuine acceptance in this connection. The 11th house is the house of the group that receives you as you are, not because of your role or your achievement or your emotional availability, but because you belong. The house person tends to relate to the sun person with a quality of uncomplicated goodwill that can feel, for a sun that has experienced more conditional forms of regard, remarkably freeing. There is no performance required here. There is no evaluation being conducted. There is simply the ease of being welcome. The risk in this overlay is one of diffusion. The 11th house is oriented toward the collective, and its mode of connection, while warm and genuine, is not naturally oriented toward the particular. The sun person may find, over time, that the house person's regard for them is wide rather than deep, that they are loved as part of a larger picture rather than known as an individual. The sun, which needs to be seen distinctly, and not simply as one member of an ensemble, may begin to feel somewhat unmoored in a connection that consistently places it in a social rather than a personal context. The house person, in parallel, may find that their relationship with the sun person is most alive when they are in the company of others, that the connection depends on a social environment to sustain its energy, and is somewhat less vivid when the two of them are alone. This is not a failure of intimacy, so much as a characteristic of the 11th house orientation, but it is worth recognizing if the house person is seeking a connection that can also hold depth and privacy. Shared ideals and collective purpose can be among the most bonding features of this overlay. Two people who believe in the same things, who are working toward the same vision of how the world might be better organized, or who are committed to the same community or cause, find in this overlay a form of solidarity that is genuinely reinforcing. The sun person's energy applied to the house person's hopes and long-term aspirations does not just warm them, it actively helps to bring them into form. Friendship, in its most uncomplicated and sustaining form, is this overlay's most natural product. And friendship, the kind that persists across decades, that survives the endings of other kinds of connection that can be picked up after long absence as if no time has passed, is not a consolation prize. It is one of the most reliable forms of human love available. At its highest expression, this overlay produces a relationship that is genuinely characterized by goodwill, an orientation toward each other's flourishing that is not conditional, not transactional, and not easily eroded by the ordinary friction of two lives in contact. The sun person finds a context in which their identity is welcomed into a larger social world with warmth and without judgment. The house person finds a presence that enriches their community life and reaffirms their sense of what they are part of and what they are working toward. When this works well, there is a quality of enduring loyalty at the center of the connection. Not passion, not merger, but the quiet and sustaining knowledge that this person is genuinely on your side and that you are genuinely on theirs. At its core, Sun in the 11th house in Synastry is about what it means to be chosen as a friend and what becomes possible in a life when the people around you actually believe in who you are becoming.
This was Sun in the 11th house in Synastry overlays. Thank you for listening. Next, Sun in the 12th house.